There we go.
Community is what stood out with this project. We did so many neighborhood meetings and stakeholder engagement work on the front end of this project. We talked to so many people from all throughout the state about this project and what we were trying to do. And it's only because of you all in this room today that we're standing here. We've completed construction on 65 units of affordable housing in this rural community, serving 30 to 80% of Vernon County median income. A 6,000 square foot child care facility, 3,000 square feet of retail space. The first time in this community that's been done. It's truly a catalytic project for the city of Viroqua. And Nate, you and I worked really hard on putting this together. And just want to thank you all for being here today. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Governor Evers.
What a day in Viroqua. It's amazing, just amazing, beautiful, beautiful facility. No matter where I go as governor of the state, people talk about how important affordable housing is. It's a difficult lift wherever you go. We have to bring people together, find a spot, work with the community, and bring people like Northpointe making it happen. Obviously, the state plays a role in helping to finance this. We started it with some money during the pandemic that made this happen. The really important thing for me is that it brings the community together. It is extraordinarily important to connect the dots, because if you have good housing, you're going to be able to do all sorts of other things. It is about connecting the dots. And so if you're in a house and you need housing, you have that taken care of, you can take care of other parts of your life. You know, making sure you have enough food, make sure that you have great schools. You're going to have right here the idea of having early childhood programming right in the facility. And that is very unusual. And I couldn't be happier to be here today to see it kicked off and take a look at the beautiful facilities. But Viroqua, you did it. Thank you for doing it. Affordable housing is now here in the great city. Take care, folks.
I'm going to take a minute to just list off a handful of groups and organizations that help make this project happen. It's really great for you to hear just how many folks throughout the state have participated in this project. Oshkosh Kids Foundation, Dream Lane Real Estate, North Central Construction, our contractor on the project, who dealt with a lot of challenge from the soils to opening on time and making sure we're able to get folks moved into the building. KBA, our constant, continuous, strong architect partner. We started off with President Architectures, who helped us do some of the neighborhood engagement work, and then brought in KBA to get us across the finish line and to move this project forward. Viroqua, ACC Management, our long-term relationship management agent partner. This project will be full by the end of the month. It's about 30, 45 days to fill up 65 units in a rural community. There was a point in time where as a group we were like, is 65 units too many for the city of Viroqua? Like, what's the size? Are we building too many? I think there's room for another project here. I mean, I think the demand in this community is incredible. I think you see that throughout the whole state when it comes to rural affordable housing. These rural communities need help, and when we build a low-income housing tax credit project, oftentimes that is really the only housing that's being built in a rural community. It is the opportunity to make it financially feasible to deliver housing for a community for the first time in oftentimes decades. LSS, Lutheran Social Services, the Vernon County Veteran Services Office, Chosen Valley Testing, who helped us navigate some of the challenges of the soils that we encountered, the city of Viroqua, of course, and let's just give a round of applause to the city of Viroqua. Vernon County, WEDA, the Wisconsin Housing Economic Development Authority. Governor Evers mentioned the ARPA dollars that this project received, but that was step one. Step two was competing for housing tax credits from WEDA. And again, that is the resource that helps get projects like these done in rural communities. The ARPA funds got us across the finish line and made this project even more meaningful for this community, allowing us to add in a 6,000 square foot childcare space and 3,000 square feet of retail space. We have US Cellular moving into one of the retail spaces and Mark moving into our childcare space from La Crosse, expanding their operations into this region here to help serve communities in this area. As Governor Evers mentioned, housing is oftentimes the most challenging piece for low to moderate income families to navigate. After housing, it's childcare, or in conjunction with housing, it's childcare. And being able to address both of those issues, providing Mark with a long-term lease of the space for $1 a year is truly an incredible opportunity. Old National Bank, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago, DOA, the Viroqua Development Association. There's so many parties that help make this project happen. With that, I'm going to bring up the mayor of Viroqua, Justin Running.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate you going through the list, so I didn't have to try to remember everything that was involved. It's quite a list, and thank you, Governor, for all of your support. Thank you for being here at the start, and now at the finish of this. It means so much to the community. As Jake mentioned, this building's full in 65 days from completion to full. It shows the need, and Viroqua continues to need more. There's more housing projects that need to happen in this community. It gives opportunities for businesses to grow. You know, I look around, I see business owners and you all, and it's bringing employees to town. It's giving people a place to live. It's safe. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And this project isn't just housing; it's a community. When you look around outside, there's a place that's childcare. This wonderful common space. You don't see projects like this. I've never seen another one like it anywhere. And I just thank Northpointe so much for coming to Viroqua and making this here. It's amazing. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Justin. So again, the theme here is obviously just the amount of folks that have poured their hearts and energy and time into this project. And thank you for all the hard work you put into this. I think you were really the linchpin in this project and moving it forward through community meetings, and it really helped us get here today. You probably lost a little bit of sleep here and there about getting this done and making sure that the community was happy with it and making sure we're engaging and part of the community. And our commitment will continue to be, as I've said from day one, to be part of this community long term. Of course, we've finished this project, but we are here to stay, we are here to be part of this community. And I think it was the VDA Chamber, or the Viroqua Main Street Chamber bash that you guys had earlier this week. Yeah. We had a table there. We're going to continue being part of these events and part of this community. With that, I'm going to bring up Lane Manning from Dream Lane Real Estate to share a few remarks.
Thanks, man. So I'm going to take a little bit of my time and talk about a theme the governor mentioned connecting dots. This is kind of funny. I started with Northpointe, working with Northpointe. I'm the co-developer, Lane Manning, Dream Lane Real Estate, co-developer of this project. I started and heard the term LIHTC, which is Low Income Housing Tax Credit. That's the main financial vehicle we use to build these properties. The first time I heard that term was October or November of 2019. And I wanted to make sure that the governor mentioned connect the dots, and he mentioned pandemic funds, because this was on the docket then. This was in the pipeline then in 2020. There were 4 projects: Limerick, Perry Creek, which was called Water for the Time, Uno. And then this one, admittedly, this one was kind of shelved. It was tough to do. It was tough to connect the dots. And we kind of shoved it, went places for with paths of least resistance. But Jake came on, he took this project and he saw it till the end. When I mentioned we did the groundbreaking earlier, I mentioned I am part of this community. My high school friends and I all fish. I don't fish, they fish. I eat, drink coffee, and eat all the confectionery items in the area. We would rent the apartment above the Norwegian Hideaway and come every year. My high school days, I'm in my 50s, they were doing this last 3 or 4 years. So I would drive by the site that entire time, knowing how the progress was happening, knowing where we stopped and couldn't keep going. So now that we're here, I can't tell you how thrilled I am that this is here. And when the daycare came in, and that whole picture that it paints for affordable housing, childcare in a day, everything that we can offer. Because daycare wasn't there at first. That was one of the dots that he mentioned that came later to connect this thing. When it all came together, and one of the things I learned from Jake, that's why I wanted to thank him publicly, I learned a lot in this project of how to make ends meet, how to connect the dots, make this work. So I'm gonna keep my comments very brief, very proud to be a part of a project here in Viroqua. I still come here a lot, we still go fishing. The place has been sold now, so we can't rent that one, we gotta get a different Airbnb, but we still come here and spend a lot of time, it's convenient. Can't tell you how proud I am. I have a long future, 30 years in the future, being a part of a project here in your great city. So thank you very much and congratulations.
Spanky,
How you doing?
come on up here with the BDA.
Briefly, I'm Spanky from Sleepy Hollow, BDA, Viroqua Development Association for many years. Actually had the pleasure to be on the county board when this started. I'd like to thank the county, I'd like to thank Vernon County. Without Vernon County and everything, the work that was done in the backside of this, Justin, you were involved in both sides of this too, you know, from county and city, and you know, it's challenging. We talked a lot about connecting the dots. Connecting the dots is hard.
Especially at first.
The dots don't always meet up. So I just wanted to say, you know, Vernon County, seeing the vision, I want to thank Lauren, the chair, and Will and Kyle and a lot of the guys that were involved in seeing this and saying, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe we take the old county shop. When this county shop was built here in 1948 on this site, it was built here because it was out of town. Well, that's why it was out of the way. So it's challenging to take a site of this huge magnitude and make it something good. I want to thank the mayor for all your work, and Nate Torres. This didn't happen without you, and I know how much work you put into this, Jake. I'm not one of big words, but I do want to say thank you to everybody. I'm so proud of this. I'm so proud of being a part of this in some small way. So have a great day.
Yeah, thanks, Spanky.
Thank you.
It all started with that one day we were running around the city, like, who do we need to be with, who are we talking with next, so let's make this
That's a
happen.
great conversation.
Totally, that was a fun day.
It was.
That's how these projects happen, so thank you for all your work that you put into helping, push this forward on that.
My pleasure.
Yeah, of course. Next, I'm gonna bring up Liz Filter with Mark, who's gonna be operating our childcare space here.
Good morning, everyone, and on behalf of VARC, I want to thank you for inviting us to be a part of today's celebration. Thank you to Governor Evers for being present to show your support. Your presence today is a testament to your dedication and advocacy for initiatives like this that strengthen our community. Thank you to Nate and the city of Viroqua for your vision, to Northpointe Development for your leadership, and to all of the community partners that have been mentioned who played a role in bringing this incredible building to life. Most notably, I'd like to thank our staff, in particular VARC's Vice President of Strategy, Megan Tully, and our Child Care Director, Nicole Goodwin, who have both put in many hours working collaboratively with each of these partners. This is a milestone not only for downtown Viroqua, but for the families and businesses who benefit from what this space makes possible. This project represents more than bricks and mortar. It represents opportunity. Opportunity for families to thrive, for children to grow, and for the workforce to become stronger. Across Wisconsin, access to childcare has become one of the most pressing challenges facing parents and employers alike. Parents want to work, businesses want to hire, and communities want to grow. But without reliable childcare, too many are forced to make impossible choices. This development helps meet the challenges head on. Part of this building, as you've heard, will soon be home to Bumble and Bloom, a licensed early learning center operated by VARC. This new center is designed to welcome around 70 children from infants to preschool in safe, inclusive, play-based classrooms. For families, that means peace of mind, knowing their children are cared for, nurtured, and prepared for school. For employers, it means a stronger and more stable workforce. People can show up for their jobs knowing their children are safe and thriving. And for the community, it means that our youngest learners will have the strong, supported start they deserve. We expect to open Bumble and Bloom this winter once licensing is finalized. This timeline allows us to ensure the space is fully prepared, our staff are trained, and every detail is in place to provide the highest quality care from day one. Of course, a child care center is more than classrooms and curriculum. It's the teachers and staff who bring the space to life. We are so grateful for the dedicated educators who will soon fill these rooms with learning, laughter, and care. And as others have mentioned, none of this happens alone. This project shows what's possible when city leaders, developers, and community organizations come together. At VARC, we are proud to bring forward not only high-quality care, but also a business partnership model, a way for local employers to secure childcare access for their workforce. That model strengthens families, supports local businesses, and helps address the childcare crisis in a tangible, sustainable way. And beyond childcare, investments like this strengthen the local economy and contribute to the vitality of Viroqua. So we invite businesses, parents, families, care providers to connect with us directly. You can learn more on our website. We can talk with our developers and our community partners to learn about what this looks like, and we'd love to talk with you about how we can work together. So on behalf of VARC, thank you again to everyone who has made this milestone possible. We're proud to be a partner in this project, and we're excited for what's ahead. Thank you.
We have a few residents that wanted to share some remarks as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Hi everyone, I'm a resident here with my 2 children. I think the thing that we enjoy the most and we're the proudest of for being residents here is the idea of social equity, and that we all have worth that is not attached to how much money we make. And we have so much to contribute to the community. I have a long history in education and disability advocacy as my line of work. As you can imagine, that doesn't pay much, but it's something I truly enjoy and values that I instill in my children. For them to be able to experience this and see that people of all different walks of life, people of all different experiences and abilities can come together and agree that social equity is really important for our community, which is something that really drew me to Viroqua last year when we first moved here. I'm really grateful to be residents here. Thank you to everybody who participated in the process to make this a reality. Thanks.
It's huge. I've been here with the city for, it'll be 4 years in April. This project started literally my first day as mayor, and it's such an exciting time to see it coming to an end here in terms of the construction's done, it's filling up. Lots of folks have, that's been a top priority since I've been mayor, and hearing from citizens is we need more housing in this community. And this particular project fills such a need. Well, I mean, anytime we had a site that had been one thing for many years. So from getting it purchased from the county, we appreciate the county's willingness to work on this project and get this done. They obviously agreed and saw the needs, so they're willing to sell it. The building was a commercial heavy town or county shop area, so there was some cleanup that had to be done, a lot of old buildings that had to come down, and then to make it what it is today is just unbelievable. And it takes time. Government unfortunately doesn't move as fast as we all wish it would, so we're 3.5 years in and we have tenants here. In my time as mayor, I've listened to a lot of development discussions where developers have a plan, then they have a public meeting, and there's conversations about what could you do, what would we like to see. Northpointe is probably one of the most responsive to the community's needs. Every single thing that the community asked Northpointe to put into this property, they did. I never heard no come out of Northpointe's mouth. We've got daycare, we've got retail, we've got underground parking, there's charging stations, there's solar infrastructure. It really did hit all the things that they were looking to get done.
Well, this really is testament to the leadership here in the city of Viroqua for working through the various layers in order to get a project like this done. This demonstrates the fact that if you have good leadership at the local level, real progress can be done. We need more housing in Viroqua. We need more housing here in the state of Wisconsin. But thanks to leaders like Mayor Running and the city leadership here, we were able to move forward, bring in partners from around the state be able to have Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority also participate in this project, and we were able to come to fruition, and that's why this is such a great day. But again, my hat's off to the mayor and to the city council here in Viroqua for the leadership that they provide. And I will say this, the average home price in the state of Wisconsin is nearly $350,000. I repeat, the average home price in the state of Wisconsin is nearly $350,000. I mean, that is astronomical. And if we are going to really build a community again in this state and have people, you know, have real ownership in this state, we have to tackle this housing crisis. And the fact that Mayor Running and the city leaders here in Viroqua recognize the fact that we need to have affordable housing in this community, my hat's off to them. More needs to be done. This is a great first step.
You know my son, Nicholas?
Yes.
Podesta?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
just making sure.
Yes, we met numerous times.
Numerous times, sorry. You know.
Yeah.
At the fair, oh yeah.
Yeah,
We
and
had
Lisa
that nice
had
little.
too much cotton candy. She was all around out.
This is all in one here, right? Such a great example of how communities build collaborations and solve problems together. Local government is where it's at, right? Like today is a good reminder of that. All of the work that the city did to pull in developer, pull in childcare, pull in commercial, to do housing, which is top priority, and childcare, another top priority for working families in Wisconsin, here in Viroqua, everywhere in the 96th. It is a really, really good day for Viroqua, a really good day for Viroqua, and a good day for the 96th. To be honest, this is a very unique project, especially the childcare component of it. Local government has a unique ability to be the nexus of a project like this. Just existing relationships at the local level, I think, are what really shine on a day like today. And this project is such a good reminder that communities are able to solve problems when they are given the opportunity to do that. Viroqua knew they had housing needs, they knew they had childcare needs, and they identified all of the players that needed to come together. Super impressed. I was really struck today, one of the residents spoke at the at the ribbon cutting, and she talked about social capital, right? Like that she is, as a mom of 2 kids who works in the not-for-profit sector, able to be part of this project, to live here and feel that her contribution is equally important. It's not just the people with all the money, it's not just people with titles after their names, that the community as a whole lives in this housing development now. And I was really struck by how important that was to her, and the values that helps her teach her kids about social capital, and that we all bring gifts to the table and we all bring important things to the table.
And housing, daycare, they're economic development. The people, if they want to work someplace, have to have somewhere to live.
Yes.
And when you have a shortage of that, it makes it hard for employers. It makes it,
Yes. Yeah.
So just talk about that.
Yeah.
Fog,
So I was listening to the mayor mention that businesses were who he heard from the most when this project was being talked about. We have a hard time attracting employees to our workplace because there is not affordable housing in Viroqua. We have a great workplace, tons to offer in the community. Housing was lacking, and so he talked about the importance of that. And the developer said the same thing, right? Like, we got to get employers, businesses in on this kind of a project, from the very beginning, to voice that message and to say we need more housing. It needs to be affordable housing because our economy relies on having good people coming to work at our place of work, and that means we need to have a place where they can live that is affordable, and childcare that is affordable.
and without outside intervention or assistance or subsidies or tax credits, these units are not affordable.
Right, right. And that, I mean, to me, this is the role of government, right? Is not only to be the convener to pull these folks together, but to offer incentives for a project like this that brings everything into one space, brings that affordable housing, brings childcare, brings commercial development. It's a beautiful model. It is genuinely a beautiful model.